What is going on, guys? PapaSea back with another Duel Links video for you guys, and today we'll be looking and playtesting a Spellbook deck. If you enjoy the content, you want to support the channel, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. So Spellbooks just came out last night in the new mini box. The mini box came out 13 hours ago, so this deck obviously isn't the most optimal Spellbook deck yet. I have been playtesting with some friends, talking to some people. There's a Discord server that I'm in. If you guys don't know, I have a Pokemon channel, which is in the description, and there's basically a Discord server of a bunch of like people who play Duel Links from the Pokemon community, and that's really the Discord server that I talk in the most and get ideas from the most. So me and CJ were in that server. We were playtesting pretty similar builds. He wasn't playing Tricky, he was playing Challen over Exemplar. Basically, we're playtesting Spellbooks. Very, very fun deck. The biggest problem with Spellbooks is they kind of don't do anything. And I'll explain the deck in a second. So the way it works basically is you just play a bunch of spell cards, you search for your spell cards, and that's pretty much it. So first off, we have 3 Tricky, discard 1 card, special summon it from your hand. This is from the new box as well. It's one of the URs. This is pretty good because your Spellbooks, there's some you want in the grave, so it's good to discard dead Spellbooks. It also combos well with Exemplar because you can discard a dead monster and then get it back with Exemplar. What Exemplar does, 4-star, 1700 spellcaster, so it's pretty much a good beat stick as a spellcaster. It synergizes well with the Spellbooks because in order to activate most of the Spellbooks, if not all of the Spellbooks, you need to have a face-up spellcaster on your side of the field, so it's nice for that. I have seen most people playing Challen the Prophet. I haven't seen too many people playing Exemplar, and I don't really understand why. Basically, each time a spell card is activated, Exemplar gets 2 counters, and you can remove from play as many counters as you want to special summon a spellcaster from your grave whose levels equal to the counters that you've removed. So that's really easy to do because you can easily play like 3 spells in one turn, get 6 counters, get a Tricky out. You can play 1 spell and get out a Spellbook Magician of Prompts, which is only a 2-star. This is like the main monster of the deck. It's only 500 attack, but there was like maybe 2 or 3 games where I used Exemplar's effect to get back my Magician of Prophecy to attack over like a defense position carrot or something like that, or just do that extra 500 damage, and it really paid off. Is it the most optimal thing? Probably not. I do want to test out the Challen build, which is basically just 3 of this Blue Boy and then 3 Challen. Now this card is, we call it Blue Boy because its name's kind of weird. Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. It has Spellbook in the name, which is important because you can search it out with other cards even though it's a monster. What this card does, add 1 Spellbook spell from your deck to your hand when it is normal summoned or flipped face up. So unfortunately, if you special summon off of Exemplar, you do not get the effect. What you can do, and this has never come up for me, but I'm sure that there's probably going to be a situation where it does come up. You just set this first turn. Maybe your opponent thinks you're playing Sylvans, it is a Mushroom, and they attack into it. You flip and you search. Not the most optimal thing, but it's a play to keep in mind. Onto the spells. Main spell of the deck, I want to say, Spellbook of Secrets. Add 1 Spellbook card from your deck to your hand, except for Spellbook of Secrets. You can only activate 1 Spellbook of Secrets per turn. Most of the Spellbooks have that caveat. I think all of them actually do, where you can only activate 1 of each name per turn. But we can get around that with some ways. Next card. This is probably one of the more controversial cards in terms of people playing it. I've seen people play 0, I've seen people play 3. I think 1 is all you need. Spellbook Library of the Crescent. Now, there's 2 different library cards. I always refer to this one as library, but there's another library. I forget what the other one does and what it's called, but this is the better one. If you have no Spellbook cards in your grave, reveal 3 Spellbook spell cards with different names from your deck. Your opponent randomly adds 1 of them to your hand, then shuffle the rest back in your deck. You only use 1 of these per turn. So this is good as a starter card. If you open with it, you can get it. The thing I don't like about this card, though, is since it's random, I only like having this card if I have like a Spellbook of Secrets in hand as well to play. That's why I'm playing Restart, by the way. Just get consistent hands, basically. I feel like Restart's the default skill when you're testing a new deck. Next up, Spellbook of Fate. Probably the best card in the deck, to be completely honest. Quick play Spellbook card. You can search it with a lot of things, as I'm holding back a burp. Excuse me. Basically, you have to control a spellcaster to activate this. You can banish up to 3 Spellbooks to activate these 3 effects. If you banish 1 Spellbook, you can return 1 set spell and trap on the field to the owner's hand. That's pretty nice for like end phase shenanigans because you can only use a Spellbook of Fate once per turn. So what you can do is set a Fate, have 1 in your hand, use 1 at the end phase to bounce back a spell or trap, then use 1 on your turn, which is pretty nice. You can banish 2 to change 1 monster on the field to face down defense position or face up attack position, which is pretty nice. I feel like I use the defense one more. But flipping them to attack is obviously good as well. And then probably the best one, banish 1 card your opponent controls by banishing 3. Now, this card is really good, which is part of the reason why people play multiple libraries, because library can be only activated if you have no spellbooks in your grave. So what people do is like they just fate everything away, then their crescents are alive. I'm not really a big fan of it, if I'm being honest, of this card, specifically Crescent. I do like Fate a lot, it's probably the best card in the deck, but Crescent, I just think 1 is good enough. And you'll see I'm playing 22 cards. I'll explain that in a bit. Next up, honestly, I think this might be my favorite spell in the deck. Spellbook of Power. I didn't think it was that good. I was playing 1, and there were so many situations where I needed this card to win the game. Target 1 spellcaster monster you control, so you can use it on Tricky or Exemplar. Until the end phase, gains 1,000 attack. Also, until the end phase, each time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add 1 Spellbook spell card from your deck to your hand. You'll activate 1 Spellbook of Power once per turn. That's pretty good, because one of the biggest problems with this deck is attacking over big monsters. You can use this on Tricky. Tricky goes to 3,000. Attack over all the Sylvans. You can use it on Exemplar. You can attack over like Guardiok and stuff like that. You can use it on Blue Boy. Okay, if you use it on Blue Boy and ram into a Martial Leaf, you still get the search. So that's something to keep in mind. I just feel like that's the biggest problem with this deck as a whole, though, is ironically the power. Because there's a lot of times where you just end your turn with a 500 attack monster on board and a set fate, and that's it. And there's not that much else you could do. Which is why I really like the Tricky, because it allows you to get 2 monsters on board. It also allows you to discard a spell, so your fate is more alive. You can activate some of the other effects. Anyway, next card, Spellbook of Eternity. Target one of your banished Spellbook cards. Accept Spellbook of Eternity. Add that target to your hand. Combos well with Fate. I like it a lot. Next up, Spellbook of the Master. Another really, really good Spellbook card, in my opinion. If you control another Spellbook monster, you can reveal one other Spellbook card in your hand. So you can reveal Blue Boy, which is nice. Target 1 Spellbook normal spell in your graveyard, except Spellbook of the Master. This card's effect becomes that target's effect, and you'll activate 1 Spellbook of the Master return. What you could do, Spellbook of Secrets, search this, activate this, and you get Secrets effect. So, in a way, you could use 2 of the same Spellbooks in the same turn, but it has to be through Spellbook of the Master. So, I like it a lot. The thing that makes this card so good is it fuels the grave for Fate. That's pretty much what this deck does. Just keep fueling the grave for Spellbook of Fate. And last but not least, one trap, one of the new traps. Actually, I think every single card in this deck is from the new set. Treacherous Trap Hole. One of the single best cards in the game. What are like? Because this card, you're gonna see it in probably Masked Heroes. You're gonna see it in Cyber Angels. You're gonna see it in a lot of decks that don't play a lot of traps. Because what it does is, if you have no traps in your graveyard, target 2 monsters in the field, destroy those targets. Now, it has to be 2 monsters. So if your opponent only has 1 monster, you can't activate it. If you have a monster and your opponent has 1 monster and you activate it, you have to destroy your own monster. I have used this at times to destroy my own Blue Boy and then get it back next turn with Exemplar, so I don't really lose that much advantage. I like this card a lot. Now, I am playing 22 cards. Why am I playing 22 cards? I feel like with Spellbooks, there's just so many cards that you have to play. Like, I cannot cut Spellbook of Power to 2. I cannot cut Tricky to 2. This guy you need 3. This you need 3. It's just such a tough deck to cram 20 cards in that I'm just trying with 22 cards, because why not? Now, I have seen some people play 30 card decks with That Grass is Greener. I tested that. I absolutely hated it. If you opened grass, like, you had to open grass in order to do anything, and then every time you opened grass, I didn't get a good mill. So, I don't know, maybe I was just unlucky when I was playtesting. I'll probably try it again. Definitely want to try the Challenge the Prophet build later, but anyway, that was probably the most time I spent explaining a deck. Let's just get into some duels. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a Spellbook expert, probably going to misplay, and the turns with this deck are long. As you see, I D-ranked to Plat 1, and I have a lot of losses. Look at that. I was King of Games. I have 3 victories this season. So I have 3 victories with this deck, basically, is what that means. Although I did play in Casual, because I was tilted from Ranked and went to Casual. So I got a couple wins there, if that counts. But anyway. This deck, the turns are long. You know, your opponents... It's a new deck, so a lot of your opponents are reading the cards too, but you really have to think out your plays. Because there's some times where, like, you activate a Fate, and you have to banish the right cards. That way you can use the one that gets a banished one back. Like, it's... There's a little bit of a learning curve with this deck. And we're going first against Joey with probably Grit. Yep, of course. Gotta get that early King of Games with your Grit. So, this is not a terrible hand. I am not going to use the skill, because I'm going second. Oh, I'm going first. Thought I was going second. Okay, so... I'm just going to summon the Blue Boy. See, the thing is with this deck, too, you're going to see it right here, is, I don't have too much of a play here. Like, I could get my secrets here, and I could load up 2 Spellbooks in the grave for a Fate, and I could summon Tricky later, which I might have to do. So I'm going to summon, I'm going to activate Spellbook of Secrets, and I am going to get Spellbook of the Master, just so I can get another Spellbook in grave. Spellbook of the Master is going to copy Spellbook of Secrets here. Although I'm going to have to reveal my Spellbook of Fate, so he's going to know that my set card is Fate, which is one of the downsides of this card. Alright, so I'm going to target Spellbook of Secrets. And now let's see, what do I want to get? Now I could have just went Crescent first turn, but the thing is, if I went Crescent first turn and I didn't get Spellbook of Secrets off of the random selection, I would have lost. So I think I'm gonna get Spellbook of Power. I'm not gonna activate it though. Now if I set my Fate, I could change a monster to face down in defense position. Although since he's playing Sylvans, it's probably just going to be a set Koosh, which would be ideal. I mean, he is going second, so that's probably not as ideal for him. But if he sets a Koosh, sets a Carrot, that's fine. I feel like, for whatever reason, the past day that I'm testing this deck, so many Sylvan players... Oh, it's not even Sylvans. Okay. just set Carrot, and that's it. Like, I don't know what it is. Now, here's the thing. I don't think I Spellbook of Fate here. Also, with Spellbook of Fate, it has to be Spellbook spell card. So, Spellbook Magician of Prophecy does not count there. So, I'm going to let this go through. He has a Mass Change in hand. Or possibly a Chalice. I'll let that go through. I could just summon Exemplar and get it back next turn if I need. Depends on what I draw here. Spellbook of Secrets. That's a pretty good draw. Okay, so now... I think I'm going to get another Spellbook of the Master. Honestly, I think I might just get Library to discard it for Tricky. I might do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll discard it for Tricky. I have a Fate set, so if he Mass Changes, that's fine. I'll normal summon Exemplar just to see what he wants to do. I probably should have done that first, because it would have got counters on it. That was a misplay. That was definitely a misplay. Although I'll still get 2 counters on it because I'm going to activate Spellbook of Power on my Tricky, probably. Now, I wish Spellbook of Power was a quick play, but it's not, unfortunately. So I'm going to discard this one. Summon this attack. Actually, I think I am going to use my Spellbook of Power just so I can get the search off. But I'm going to use it on the Tricky. And I'll attack first with the Tricky. So that way if he Mass Changes, I can still attack over it. And his only way to really get over me is if he has, like, a Mass Change and a Chalice. Which I have a set Spellbook of Fate. So I can switch his monster to defense mode. Now, Spellbook of Power, when you destroy your opponent's monster, you can search for a Spellbook from your deck. Pretty good, and you gain the 1,000 attack. That's also pretty good. Now, since this is Destiny Heroes, probably doesn't have a set Wall of D. Probably doesn't have a set Mirror Wall. Set Econ. That's fine. He's going to change our battle position. Okay. Maybe he doesn't have Mass Change. I do get the counters, though, which is nice. So if he Mass Changes here, I'll go to 6 counters, and then I could bring back my Tricky from the grave next turn, which is not bad at all. So he has double Econ. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. Now I have 6 counters, so I'm going to let him... See, that's the thing with this deck, too, is you have to sometimes let your opponent destroy monsters if you have Exemplar, because if he destroys my Tricky, I can just get it back anyway, so it's complete... I'd rather him get rid of... I'd rather protect my Exemplar and have him get rid of Tricky, and then use my Fate. Hey, True Nade. Alright. Let's think here now. Pretty sure this is a misplay, but I'm going to banish his Celestial anyway. I like to banish his Secrets always, too. Because then you could just get it back with the banished one. I forget the name of it. He could just Mass Change here. Alright, this one. Actually, I don't know. Spellbook of Fate works weird. Like, the way it works is really... Like, there's some things you just can't chain to it, and I don't really understand why. I don't know. He summons Drill Dark. He sets. If he's smart, he's going to attack the Exemplar. If he's smart, he attacks the Exemplar. I have 10 counters on it. It's once per turn, too, right? Yeah, once per turn. Yeah, see, like, this happens to me a lot. I don't know if maybe I'm going to attribute this just to people not understanding the deck, but, like, look at this situation, right? He destroys my Tricky. I have 10 counters on Exemplar. I just get Tricky back. So, I don't... I just remove 5 counters. Get back the Tricky. Activates Chalice. Okay. I still have 5 counters. And I'm going to gain 400 attack. This honestly isn't bad because I have a set... Oh, it gets rid of all my counters. Okay, so I'll set the Fate. And I'll attack into the Drill. No, does he have a Celestial Engrave? No, right? No, okay, perfect. So he's going to be top decking. I'm going to assume since he's playing Drill Dark, he's not playing like the Vision Hero variant. That's 500 damage. That'll mess with Grit, of course. So I have a set... How much... I think I have 3 spells in the grave, right? It's just a monster. It could be a Decider. I could just banish it, actually. With my Spellbook of Fate. Treacherous Trap, that's really good. That's really good right here. Okay, I do have 3 Spellbooks in grave, so my Fate is live. But it's not worth using. I'm just gonna set this. If that's Celestial, that's a bit unfortunate. But, it's not worth fading, I don't think. Yeah, it's Celestial. So he's going to be able to draw. But the thing is, since I have Treacherous face down, I think I'll be okay. I don't know, because he's gonna have 1 card in hand. And he's going to draw 2. There's like a lawnmower outside. I do apologize if you can hear that, by the way. So he's going to summon... So I just fade it right here. No, I'm going to wait for the Mass Change to fade it. If he has it. Because he's going to use Celestial's effect here for sure. Yeah. Yeah, he's probably playing the variant that I played for the KC Cup, which is just like the I guess you can say the Turbo variant, which is 3 Drill Dark, 3 Celestial, just OTK as fast as you can, possibly. Sets a card. Ends his turn. I could have faded in the end phase there. Alright, Spellbook of Secrets, that's really good. I'm gonna get Spellbook of Power here. I'm gonna try to get my Tricky back here. So he has something chainable, it looks like. So I'm gonna get Spellbook of Power. This is why I like playing 2 Spellbook of Powers. Actually, I could just get... I'm gonna get Blue Boy and then summon Blue Boy. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Just so I get 1 more search. So there's 2 spell counters. I'm gonna get 2 more here. I'm gonna have to get Spellbook. I'm not gonna have enough. I don't even have enough counters actually, because I'm gonna have to Spellbook of Fate. Okay, so let me get a Spellbook of Power. Okay, and I'm gonna Fate the power, just so the power is banished and I can use it later. With I keep forgetting the name of the card that gets it back when it's banished, but I think you guys know what I mean. Alright, let's use that on Exemplar. Let's get 4. Now, I'm going to activate Spellbook of Fate. I'm going to banish 1 card my opponent controls. By... Let's think here now. So I definitely want to get rid of a Power, a Fate, and I guess 1 of the Secrets, because I already have another one in grave anyway. Now, if I get rid of the back row, can I win here? 11... Yeah, I can win here if I get rid of the back row. I'm just getting rid of the back row then, I think. I don't know. See, Spellbook of Fate is pretty tricky. I'm going to get rid of the Drill Dark, actually. Alright, now we have 6 counters. Activate the effect. 5 counters. Was that a Chalice? Nope, no Chalice. Special Summon Tricky. In attack mode. Okay, we have a Treacherous set. Alright, now we attack. Could be a set Econ. Kind of sucks for him if he didn't get a Mass Change with 10 cards. He has something chainable, so it's probably an Econ. Attack with Tricky. I guess in retrospect it would have been better to banish the back row and then attack over his monster with Exemplar. Just so I get the search. Yeah, it's an Econ. Alright, this is fine though, because like even if he summons, like he has no Celestial Engrave. So even if he summons a monster, I can just Treacherous my own Blue Boy. That's one of the good things about Blue Boy too, is like I'm not really scared to Treacherous it. Like, I guess technically still it makes it a -1. But I don't know, man. So what does he summon here? He summons a Decider. He's gonna use the effect, that's fine. I'm gonna have to Treacherous here. And unless his Grid activates, I win. Yeah, I have to Treacherous here because my Tricky can't attack over that. Actually, no, Tricky can attack over it. It's level 5, right? And Decider's effect is level 6 or higher, can't attack it. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of his thing. And I'm going to get rid of my blue boy. Yeah, he just forfeits. Okay, good. Again, games with this deck are pretty long. I'll get one more game, though, because I don't want to just show one game. But that deck worked pretty well. You know, that was against Masked Heroes. Arguably best deck in the format. No matter how you look at it, top 3. So that's pretty good. First win in a while. Take a look at his deck real quick. So we had a pretty standard hero deck, honestly. It looks like. Yeah, nothing really too crazy. Alright, let's go back. In plat. I was like, I D-ranked because of the season resetting, obviously. And I went to plat 4. And I don't know why I completely forgot it did that. I thought it would put me to Legend 1. Because the last time when I played this game a lot was in like February, early February. I don't know why I thought you D-ranked to Legend from King of Games. So it's whatever. Alright, so we got Yami Yugi here. We are going first. Alright, so what do you have? We're going second, actually. I'm gonna use the skill. I mean, 2 blue boys is really not that good. It's really not that great. I mean, this isn't horrible. I could secrets to a blue boy and then summon the Tricky. By discarding a Tricky. And then Tricky in the grave isn't bad because of Exemplar. That's why I like Exemplar. Like, people don't play it. One set. Okay. We get Exemplar. Do I normal summon the Exemplar? Could I get Tricky out this turn? I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I'm gonna summon him. I have a Spellbook of Eternity, so I could, that's the banished one. So I could potentially use that this turn if I get Fate. I'm gonna play this as if he was playing Sylvans. So I'm gonna get a Spellbook of the Master here. Alright, and then I will Spellbook of the Master. And I will get, well, I'll show him this. Okay, I can't activate Eternity this, or I could activate Eternity this turn, but I won't be able to use whatever I get with it if I Fate something. So I'm going to have to search Fate here, I think. Unless I just get power and attack over this thing. But it's probably Sylvan. Is it Sylvan's? I don't know, I didn't see a skill. Did I see a skill? Scrolling is so awkward. I didn't see a skill. It's Destiny Draw. It's probably a mill. It's probably a mill. You know what? I'm just going to get Spellbook of Power. Actually, if it's mill, I don't want to get Spellbook of Power. I'll get Fate. So, I'm going to summon Tricky, but I'm not going to discard my other Tricky. I'm going to discard Spellbook of Eternity. And then I'm just going to Spellbook of Fate and get rid of his face down. Not sure if that's the right play, if I'm being completely honest. Although, now that I have no Spellbooks engraved, my library is live. It was Merchant. Okay, so that was actually good. My other Tricky is... What I could do next turn actually is tribute this Tricky for this Tricky and then get it back with Exemplar. So this is Sylvan's. He probably has Destiny Draw. I'm just going to end my turn, honestly. I don't need to attack with this thing. Because I can still win next turn. He has to be... Like, whenever I see Yami Yugi, you don't see Balance activate and he doesn't get Restart. It has to be Destiny Draw. So I'm guessing it's Sylvan's. Yeah, there's Martial Leaf. So this is kind of bad. Guard Yoke, okay. Lotus Swan, okay. He could Guard Yoke if you wanted to. I guess Lotus Swan back, right? Okay. I don't know why you'd want to get Lotus Swan back on top of your deck, but he did it. Okay, so he had no play. So I'll include that anyway, I guess. It was kind of quick. But, we'll do one more. I feel like this video is going to be kind of a long one. I like to keep them at, like, 25 minutes or less. But, I'm pretty sure this one's going to be, like, a 30-minute or at least. I mean, the deck's actually doing well. Usually it's the opposite. Whenever you start recording, the deck does worse. The deck's doing better than me now that the camera's on. And I feel like, in a weird way, once people know what the cards do, then the deck will get better. Because I feel like now people just let everything go through. But once people know what the cards do, you can sort of play mind games. Which I think would make the deck better. I don't know, we'll see. Again, we still haven't even really found the most optimal build. I personally really like the Tricky Exemplar build. We're going second. I am not going to use my skill. This is an optimal hand if you play the library, because you can just PapaSea for library, activate library, get anything, and then use secrets. That's why opening PapaSea and secrets is really good. Or PapaSea Crescent is really good. I just don't like Like, Crescent's really not that great outside of first turn. That's why I only like one. So he sets a monster. Now, this deck really can't OTK, which is relevant in this meta, I would say, because this is a pretty OTK-heavy meta. Gonna assume he's restart Sylvans. Alright, so I'm going to get a library. Now, what do I show him off of library? What do I show him off of library? Not that one. This one. You can only activate when you have no spellbooks in your grave. Alright. So, I'm going to show him Fate, because I wouldn't mind getting a Fate. I'm going to show him this one, because I wouldn't mind getting this one. And they have to be different names. And I guess I'll just show Spellbook of Power, because Power is just really good. So, which one am I going to get? Spellbook of Fate, perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to Spellbook of Secrets. And I am going to add a Spellbook of the Master. Just to fuel the grave. I'm going to Spellbook of the Master. Where is it? Book of the Master. Reveal Fate. One problem I have with this deck, and it's kind of similar to when I played Cyber Angels when they first came out, is a lot of the cards look similar. And that's one of the problems I had with like Absolute Ritual and regular Angel Ritual, is I would always activate like the wrong one. So I might get another Spellbook of Power here just for next turn. Or I'm just gonna... I'll get a Spellbook of Power for next turn. Now, I could Fate. I'm gonna Fate. And then I'm gonna bring it back. I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do here. Is this an optimal play? We're gonna find out. Banish these three. Banish this. It was a Koosh. That's good. But the thing is, like, that's good, but now I have a 500 tech monster on board, nothing else. So, I have a Spellbook in grave. Now I'm gonna have two Spellbooks in grave. Spellbook of Eternity. I'm going to get back... Oh, I can't. I can't use these again. Okay, so I might still lose here. Just because I don't have a play. Like, that's the thing with this deck. Like, okay, I got rid of the Koosh. I played a ton of cards. I gotta end my turn. I'm pretty sure I misplayed that, though. Because what I tried to do was activate Crescent there. But Crescent's only once per turn as well, isn't it? So it didn't even matter. Is that Martial Leaf? I probably lose here. Yeah. Martial Leaf, Guardy Oak. Actually, no, probably not. He can't do anything else here. So we'll destroy my Blue Boy, which isn't that bad. I need to draw, like, the Tricky here or Exemplar. That's another problem with this deck. Or the only problem I keep mentioning with this deck. Is you just need, like, a monster. Like, that's the problem. Like, you can't win with a 500 attack monster. I mean, Treacherous is good. Treacherous is pretty good. I'm gonna summon a Blue Boy. And I'm going to get... I might have to make a really dumb play here. Yeah, I'll make a really dumb play here. Spellbook of Eternity. I'm going to activate Spellbook of Eternity. Getting back this one. Alright. And then I'm going to use... Actually, I'll use... It doesn't really matter. I'll just use Secrets first. Alright. So I'll Secrets for a Fate. And then I think I'm going to... Okay, so I have enough Spellbooks in grave. I'm going to Spellbook of Power. This is probably such a dumb play, but I'm doing it anyway. On this. Set the Treacherous. Activate Spellbook of the Master. Reveal Spellbook of Power. Target Spellbook of Power. Have this go to 25. Set my Fate. Attack with this. Do 1,000 damage. And get a double search because I essentially have two Spellbook of Powers. So I'll click yes there. And it'll ask me again. So this will thin the deck so I have a better chance of drawing Tricky, which is what I want. I think I'll get a Secrets and a Fate. Yeah. Or do I want to get Secrets? Actually, I could just search with the other Secrets. Yeah, I'll get Fate. I can just search the Spellbook of the Master if I need to. I still look a power in hand. So I have a 50% chance of drawing... No, more than that, actually. I have a 5 out of 8 chance of drawing a Tricky or Exemplar. When he first responds, did he get bored? He's like, man, this turn's taking too long. So many spell cards. 8 cards left in my deck. I'm playing against Sylvans and I have less cards in my deck than him. That's pretty funny. Alright, he's 4 cards in deck. He drew his... What did he draw? Guardio, right? He put that back? I don't even know. Summons a Marsh Leaf. That's annoying. If he doesn't... Of course. I was gonna say he doesn't mill Marsh Leaf. I should be okay. He targets my Treacherous. Do I activate that here? I think I do. Yeah, I'm gonna activate it. Now, that's one of the problems with Treacherous, is I use it a lot on my own monster. But whatever he gets off of Rose Lover, I can't Treacherous that anyway. That's one of the reasons why Fate's really good too. It's a spell card, so you can hit things that are Rose Lovered. But I need to draw Exemplar this turn. So he's going to Rose Lover, which is fine. I'm going to have to Spellbook Fate it. I'm going to banish it. Oh! I'm going to take that. Oh, I can't even Fate it. I have to have a monster on board. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know. And I drew Secrets. Like, that's not good. Okay, this is really annoying. I was waiting for a response. I think there's big connection issues, though. I did see people complaining about that, especially like if they're playing on mobile. Alright, I'll just get Blue Boy. 6 cards left in my deck. Pretty sure 5 of them are monsters that I want to draw. Okay, 4 of them are. No, 5 of them are. Let me see here now. Yep. I might have to do the double power play again. I already used that, didn't I? Yep. Spellbook power. Activate this. Actually, can I go for a game here? No, I can't. So I'll show him the Fate. Actually, I'm going to use one of my Fates because he can just get that back next turn. He can just get that back next turn if I attack over it. I'm just going to banish it. Let me see. Yeah, he only has 1 engrave, and he has 2 Marsh Leafs milled. So I'm going to activate Spellbook of Fate and banish it. So one of the powers, one of the secrets, and I guess this. Alright. And I have another Fate set, so it's fine. Now I don't get the draw, and I probably didn't need to activate the double powers, but this might actually work out. Pretty sure he has a Rose Lover engrave, which I could Fate. I have 600 life points, though. Like, if he has a normal summon and a Rose Lover target, I lose. He normal summons the Rose Lover. Is this your play? Oh, I can't Fate now. I can't Fate now. That was a smart play. If I Fate, I have to banish the Econ. I can't banish my own monster. That was really smart. That was really smart. He knew I had Fate. And he had the Herm Tree. Now, okay, you can just attack for game, dude. You know I have a Fate set. Like, you know I have a Fate set, buddy. I mean, I guess, to be fair, he might be thinking of playing Sphere. I have seen people play Sphere Karibo in this deck. And if I was playing Sphere Karibo, I could just hit the Herm Tree. So that is quite unfortunate. See, that, like I said, that's the problem with this deck, man. Like, all of this whole turn, right? This whole game, I should say, we got 500 life points. The only monster I got on board was a 500 attack monster. Like, think about that for a second. I only had a 500 attack monster on board, and I had a game that close against Sylvans, which can summon 2,400 plus monsters pretty easily. I don't know. I think this deck still needs to be optimized. You know, the deck I'm playing probably isn't the best version. I do really like Exemplar. I do really like Tricky. I do want to try the Chowlen build. There's a lot of decks I want to try with this new set. I still want to try Crystal Beast because I got Jesse to 45 the other day. I want to try Gustos. I want to try the cover card, the White Dragon, Snow Dragon, whatever it's called. Either way, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about Spellbooks in the comments down below. If you have a better build that I could try, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.